Welcome back to Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, where we last time finished the basic construction of our town and finished construction plus setup of our first industrial area, now making us some money. Talking about money, today's goal, decreasing our crippling debt. Yeah, we have quite a bit of that. And we will do that with the help of some optimizing, plus opening up probably over here some tourism, because tourism is actually quite profitable in this game. The problem is not always. What that means, we will probably get to it. Even if I wish we wouldn't, we will probably get to that. But most importantly, before we really start, I asked you last time what we should call this town, and the idea with the most likes was this. And yeah, I said a new city name and I will delete the old one, so it's more in the city center. Kinda annoyed me a little bit. And I know this seems kinda egotistical, but that's literally the comment that won. Feels a little bit weird to name the city after kinda me, but I take this as a positive feedback for the series, so we do it. As for the industrial area, as much as I like Florius, I wouldn't like the feeling of naming the entire area we're currently working on after myself. So I've chosen number 2 of stuff you liked, and we take this, don't talk, which does indeed mean adept. Very beautiful, gotta say. That out of the way, let's get going. Because I always tend to start with it, let me terraform a little bit over here to make some space for future tourism and also for our city probably growing a bit north now, because you did say something in the comments that is very true about the current city. It is not big enough. Our factories are not full. They're getting fuller, but yeah, honestly, way more workers could work in these factories, so we need more workers, which once again will cost more money. Even more importantly to mention, if we open up tourism and we don't have enough workers for our industry that we just built, maybe we should get more workers for that too. So on the program for the city is expansion, which we semi-prepared already with this shopping center over here, and an overwork of the road network. I did a few things in the background in the last episode, like putting up road signs so the roundabout rules do kind of apply and we have less traffic. But long term, this is a horrendous solution. So I asked you, do you want snowplows or do you want asphalt roads? So we can finally start making them one-way roads, because if you didn't know, you can't turn gravel into one-way roads. It is kind of hard to spray paint on gravel, so I get the logic of the game, but at the same time, yeah, it is kind of awful how the situation is currently. So your answer to the solution was, we don't care, just do one of the two things. So we're gonna do both. I mean, we're already in debt, so might just enjoy the debt and double down. The curse of the beauty builder. I don't care if we are in debt, as long as it looks beautiful, I will build it. So yeah, asphalt roads. Very much painful to do, especially in the early game, but in the long run, needed. So like the city, I will build this quietly in the background and hope that our city survives it, especially our heating network, because traffic could kill workers and we don't want that. I have to be careful. Main reason I will do like unimportant segments like this right now and the long bits of the road in the summer, when our people don't die if no one is working in a heating plant. So yeah, as for the city expansion, heating seems fine. We extended electricity, water and sewage anyways, so I would say let's just build a new city block over here. Someone also gave me the idea of readjusting the percentage on the shopping center, because food is way more in demand than clothing and electronics, and that is 100% right. So what I will do is I will just apply their suggestion of getting 80% food, 15% clothing and 5% electronics, because our workers barely consume electronics and mostly food. So I will reevaluate this and put it up like that. Same over here. And yeah, the background already started to make the road. And as you see, this takes forever. This is a very, very slow process, even with a good amount of workers, because you really shouldn't build asphalt roads yet. But once again, I do the mistakes, so you don't have to. And I gotta say, a built city like this does look very beautiful after a while, especially with the early buildings. That's why I do really enjoy them. Even the industrial area with all the lights just looks, I don't know, I just like the busy stuff, and this game has it. It is very cool. Also, still noticing small mistakes in the city, like this shopping center over here having no garbage access, meaning it's overrunning and being a health risk. Yeah, you don't want that. So I very quickly will build over here a small garbage stand and fix that. Something you also told me for the industry is to build bigger garbage collection points. I imagine you mean these over here. So you know what, I will give them a bit of a try. Put them over here here and see the difference they make. So I do believe that they probably do make a difference, but they take up a lot of space. And yeah, I tend to not use them. Also way more expensive than the small ones. And I just tend to have a very quick trash disposal system as a fix. But as I said, I'm always open for your advice. So I will try it out with those two factories, see how well it works. And if that is a good fix, replicate it to the other factories and do that too. Because the small garbage collection points do fill up quite quickly. But as you can see, our trash disposal system has it under control. Now, in last episode, it didn't. And this technical service is now also done. Main operation over here is gonna be the snowplows now. So going into them, which ones seem good? These over here seem to be the best one, but price-wise, they are quite more expensive than these ones over here. So I think I'll go for the budget solution for now, getting 2 kilometers per hour less plowing speed, but more maximum speed while driving and way cheaper. That is 600 rubles per vehicle. That does add up. And if you need to know, yes, we have a slightly higher depth now. Not 1 million yet, but we are slowly getting there. So I will buy 8 of these. This will be our snow plowing operation. I will also house a lot of our trash disposal trucks into there. Let's see how many we can fit. And with them out of this, let me get rid of these 3 stations over here. Good. Centralizing a bit this operation here around the technical service, setting up some refueling too. And yeah, that is snow plowing done. In the background, we are building the road, even the long road now. Once again, I say it, this is the wrong decision, definitely. But if you think in this playthrough, you will only see the right decision, which makes financially sense. Why are you still watching this series? Like, I'm teaching the game, yes. I'm also saying multiple times, don't do this if I do something for personal reasons. And I just generally really like the comfort of one-way roads as asphalt roads, because it is an endgame solution, but it is nothing you should do in this part of the game where most of your trucks don't even reach the speed that an asphalt road provides. Like, no one will drive 110 kilometers per hour. But for a highway, I also finally want to turn it into one-ways, because I'm suffering as much as you not being able to set them up. I just push that thought down so we can do the financial responsible thing. But I've read so many comments now about complaining that it's not one way that I see the opportunity for enough support that I can do this now. I guess I get the real feeling of being a communist leader. If you can't please everyone, we will just do whatever I want. But I gotta say, I do enjoy the debt meme, so maybe I don't even want to go out of debt anymore. It is part of who we are now. And yeah, doing some permanent solutions here. So we can even upgrade the road to the industrial area and still not hinder traffic. As I said, I want to use Spring a lot for infrastructure reasons, because a lot of our bottlenecks are actually infrastructure right now, and this is a permanent solution, so slowly but surely looking very good. I've also decided to build some bigger blocks of housing over here for the sole reason that we will need more workers. So this is not the most beautiful block, but it is the only house we have right now with the biggest capacity of workers. So even though this is a very nonchalant solution, you could say, this will be very useful. Yeah, this is what traffic hell looks like, but we are getting really close to this being done. Our population didn't really take any hits or anything, so no humanitarian catastrophe yet, but in winter, this would have definitely gotten rid of a big chunk of the population. And looking at the big containers, I might do this in the future, but I think for now, these small ones steal everything, so the big ones don't really fill up. So yeah, for money saving measures, I will do them in the future with future industry, but I think forcing it in here will not help. I mean, I also use the small ones because I can just, you know, put it into very small areas. And this whole reason this one is so full right now is because of this traffic situation here. But once this main road over here is built, or actually only rolled, I will show you how to set up the highway, and this problem should be dealt with. Yeah, nothing too major, just annoying for now. And the road is done, meaning that our core transport road is built. This over here I will not modernize because we don't need it for now, but this length over here is super important. So what I will do now is set up the one-ways in the way we want this to work. So as for the roundabout, like this, very important, and I already did this here, you gotta manually set up giveaway. And how that works is that you go here and just select giveaway. In a roundabout, it mostly selects the correct route, like here, But if you're not happy, you can always reassign the signs over here and, you know, move it around. As for this setup, this is perfect, so I'm gonna keep it. Obviously, we're not driving on the left side in our republic, so I will set up the roundabouts like this with giveaway on area entrance. And yeah, that should be a working highway, basically negating most of our infrastructure problems long term. And I know they're driving against the road right now, but that's because these vehicles already calculated the path they wanted to drive, and they're still doing it because the road still exists. But for future road calculations, the vehicles will respect the road signals we set up, not like these pesky trucks here. So yeah, this is working now. Let's talk tourism. So how I like to plan tourism is to have one main tourism road that is its own part of the town, meaning setting up a street sign like this with no pedestrians in that direction, meaning that this part is basically isolated. So people can go in and they can work, but tourists can't walk into the main city. And the main reason for that is because tourists should consume other stuffs than our own population. Because the tourists we will invite will have the same demands as our workers. Food, clothing, maybe even electronics, definitely meat, definitely alcohol. Plus, of course, they want to have fun. So they want to see attractions, be it on the beach, be it in a museum. The problem being here, our republic already fulfills most of these needs for free. So if they would go into the shopping center, they would just get food. They wouldn't really pay anything for it. They would just get it. Or if they want to do sport, they could just go to the football field and, yeah, not really pay for it and get the sports need fulfilled. We don't want that. We want to squeeze every penny out of the tourists. So you're starting to see the mindset now, I hope. What I will do now, because I tend to freestyle the tourism area a little bit, is to build a big hotel. This hotel here being very much a long-term solution and also being a DLC building. This is the Ukraine DLC, but I thought we playing a DLC with early start anyways, so I will include other DLC buildings too. I mean, you can just also use other hotels that are also decent, but the Ukraine hotel is pretty good. It's very good. Very expensive, but as I said, very good. I would say let's build it over here, meaning that yes, it's still quite close to our city, but thanks to this road sign over here, they still can't walk over. I will probably also build another living block over here, meaning I will probably move this trash disposal over here, and you know what move in this game means. Delete it and place it again. And we will probably build a lot of our tourist attraction, the initial ones, on a road down here. Yeah, that's still in range. Because we will need a lot of restaurants, we will need at least one cafe, which, you know, is a bar. Don't really drink coffee there. And some attractions. For the summer, we can probably also build a beach down here. Just gonna terraform the area a little. Oh, not even. We can just build it now. Very beautiful. But yeah, for now, we just wait for our tourism to be constructed. We might need more infrastructure for the beach area again. But yeah, that's not a priority. We need all of this here first, and then we can talk about attractions. It is very important to have food. It is very important to have the hotel. It is very important to have the infrastructure for getting the people here. But aside from that, everything else we can add over time. The main moneymaker will be food anyways. The other things are just very good because they increase our star rating. And if we have a higher star rating, more tourists want to come to our republic. But I think you're starting to see with what I meant by saying we will burn a lot more money in this episode. I will also replace these horrible bulldozers now with the way better version. Not better in terms of bulldozing speed, but definitely better in speed and weight, so we can actually load it on a truck and get it to the construction site. Yeah, it is very expensive to replace them because right now we don't have a scrapping yard, meaning we have to pay the price to scrap them. And if I click on sell vehicle, you see that's quite an amount per vehicle because we're not really selling them, we are scrapping them. And without a scrapping yard, you pay a very big upfront cost. But I really want to deliver mechanisms with truck only now, and these buggers have created so much traffic that already cost me so much money that I gladly just took like minus 30k, like a lot of money basically. Going a bit deeper into debt now, and yes, we have officially definitely crossed the 1 million mark now. But aside from replacing them, our debt has grown really slow. Like if you remember what we had last episode with 950k, this is a lot more now, but this is because I planned already a buffer for the construction of the hotel. And yeah, you see over there, it actually cost us 25k 20k, or actually more 26k, replace those buggers, but it is worth it. Trust me, it is so worth it. They are super annoying, and I am very happy to have these over here now. I could have also just put them into the naughty corner. I should have maybe done that. Like, place down a free road depot, not scrap them and just park them there. I should have definitely done that. It would have been way cheaper. Why do I have this idea now? But yeah, I'm happy I've replaced them. And let's pretend like there was no better way to do this. Like most things in this series. And there you go. Good example of this being implemented. Yeah, this is way better. I think the only thing that is currently a bottleneck is these excavators not doing the same, because their empty weight is 14 and the open house can only transport 11. So what I will do is I will take out the excavators that are very good, because they're also bulldozers, and put them into the free construction offices over here. Their deliver mechanisms only with trucks isn't ticked, so it doesn't matter there. But yeah, this is one of the things that I talked about when I said we will spend a bit of time optimizing what we have, which I generally love in this game. Just look at things you already have and see how you can make it more efficient, or learn for your next playthrough. Generally for me, just a very calming experience. And yeah, I think even though this is a very gritty game, it does also look very, very beautiful. And yeah, I saw the comment that trees lag the game. I don't care though. They're beautiful. They stay. Look at this. Trees. And with the new living quarters slowly being built over here, we might need some new demands again, like the sports hall we have over here, which, you know, might not be ultimately in range. Even though this shopping center is in range of a lot of things, redundancy is something you do want to do in this game, like any good communist simulator, I guess. So I'll be building some of the needs again, but as you might notice, I'm planning this in the tourist area, and that is for the very obvious reason that the sports hall has an attraction score for a reason. It is one of the things tourists want to use, and in this case it is the attraction pools and beaches, even though there is literally an indoor pool that does the same, just with a worse attraction score. So for now we're building the sports hall, and every time you see the attraction score, the game basically gives you the indicator, hey, this is also a tourism building. And as I also said before, not every building has that. Like if you go over to the cinema, this doesn't have a tourism score. I'm pretty sure tourists will still go in here, but it doesn't really do anything for our tourism industry. So what we want to go is over here where the art gallery is, which does have a tourism score. We of course want to build attractive buildings. So for museums, I will try to find an equilibrium between decent attraction score and not too expensive, because some of these buildings, I mean, this is actually okay-ish, but some of these buildings are literal grand projects. Like I could literally build the Nature History Museum from Vienna. Attraction score 2, by the way. As a person from Vienna, doubt. There's a lot of tourists there. But yeah, we'll probably build the Museum of the Republic that has quite a high score. Somewhere like here. I will not connect it yet, because I wanted to build the walk path first. And with the basic roads also done, I would say later on we could connect this like that. So this looks less ugly, but for our money right now, that's not a priority. What we really need is some restaurants, like 2 here, and maybe a cafe. There you go. I think 2 restaurants won't be enough, but for now they are all in range of utilities that are hopefully not overburdened yet. Nope, not yet. I gotta keep an eye on that. But yeah, we're starting to have quite the nice tourism area. The only thing we're really missing right now is a bus station where the tourists can go out of. And I think because later on I wanna scale this all up, I'll build one over here, a big one. I would also like to give this bus route its own end station, where I have 2 options now. Either do I place it over here next to our repair station, but promote more traffic into this direction basically, or do we place it more over here where we don't really have traffic yet, but that will mean we will have more effort in repairing the buses. You know what, we have this kind of free area behind our prison, so I'll place it there. There is not a lot of traffic here. There is no essential things that I have to drive by here, so I would say that's a decent solution. Far from perfect, but decent. Plus, buses do tend to hold for a while, so should be fine. And there you go, good example. We ran out of money, but I can just easily take the same loan again, because even though we run out of money, we paid back 54k already, meaning that if I take the same loan again and pay back the old one, we still have 44k to work with again. So yeah, this is what I mean with I will do a little bit of loan flipping, because even though we don't make a profit yet, we also have an income now, and we can use that income to kind of prolong our downward spiral, which is, I think, the most Soviet thing I ever said in this playthrough. But what I also wanted to talk about, because I did get some buses for tourism later, and we did just talk about the bus end station. Some of you suggested, hey, you don't need a bus end station for making spacing between buses, which is true. I could just add this bus station here, then add this bus station over here, and then view the line details and activate bus spacing over here. It doesn't show it right now, but yeah, bus lines have their own spacing options. I personally just think, out of my own experience, they're bad. They improved the situation slightly, don't get me wrong, but compared to the bus end station, they're kind of dog shit, okay? I'm sorry for the harsh words. As I said, I didn't know that the bus end station existed for a very long time, like at 500 hours in the game, and then I learned about them. So I did spend a lot of time with the other setting, and compared to the other setting, I do heartily support the bus end station. It is a lot better. In the background, we are already building on the hotel. This is a huge construction site, just that you know. Literally costs 144 bricks, plus a lot of boards. But to be fair, boards are very cheap. That's why I tend to not build them myself, which we maybe should, because we have a lot of forests, to be fair. But back to the point, this is a very expensive building, and seeing how our debt hasn't increased, even though I bought vehicles, we are building an entire new city district, means that this industry over here is doing still a very good job. What you can also see now is our snow plowing in action, cleaning up the road and basically giving back the full max speed. Very good, by the way. Also creating traffic. Why are you all in a line? But now that it snows again, now comes the downside. They have to do it again. So it is a temporary effect in winter. That's why I don't tend to use snow plows, because if you have a lot of snow, which you just can have if you're unlucky, it undoes the snow plowing every time. So having an asphalt road that is not plowed still allows this truck over here to drive at 33 kilometers per hour, which is nearly the max speed compared to, I don't know, what is it on a dirt road? 8? Not a lot. So the asphalt road is very good. Now this truck over here can drive 40, so that's 7 kilometers faster, which is very good. But as you see, it's already being undone as I speak, because it just snows a lot in this game. So yeah, snow plows are very useful on paper, but I always tend to find out that whatever they do is undone very quickly. My casing point being, it literally happened while I talked about it. But of course, also our beautiful new city district gets its own Lenin statue for a beautiful view. And before I forget about it, this bus station over here has no electricity access. And even though this is a very long underground cable, I will still be lazy and use the transformer over here, of which we need to build a new one very soon, by the way. But yeah, that should be the tourist area set up. A day later, Florius here, and I had a very good idea that I feel very stupid about, that I didn't have it earlier, which basically was that I split my excavators, the slow ones, into two regions, the industrial area and the city. So they both have their own working area now with reduced range, which really should stop traffic. I gotta say, having some breaks between the recording gives me good ideas. And again, an example for, or I guess against snowplows, it just snowed again and it reset the entire progress. And it snows again. Yeah, I'm kind of happy I did the asphalt roads, because they at least work when it's snowing. And I'm committing more resources to the project. And I love how they create traffic now. Just drive around it. Just drive, please, trucks, please. Hotel is finished, and under very extreme temperatures, heating seems to be, I guess, stable enough. Once again, I think we need more workers because these heating plants are not full. Might also invest into a new heat exchanger soon, but it doesn't matter for this winter anyway, so let's concentrate on these projects. Worker-wise, we have quite a good amount of workers in the hotel. The downside, there is way more industry that needs workers actively, meaning that we are not out of the clear yet. We will need more workers, and I might even extend this block over here with a little bit more houses. Less beautiful, but very functional. I know, the Soviet approach. So you know what, for now, one extra house, because we can place it quite easily, and our main traffic is just cars driving slow behind snowplows. literally in 2 directions here. There's 4 snowplows in this line. And it snows again. Beautiful. I started to notice that our fueling situation is a bit overwhelming for our network now, meaning there is no fuel trucks left in the depot. So I just placed another one, fill it up with fuel trucks, and copied over the orders, which should help a bit to keep this under control now. I don't want to build a big distribution office yet, because I will wait for that when we have a refinery. Very important for the hotel. Don't deliver anything to the hotel itself. You will make way more money selling it in a restaurant. But if you deliver the goods to the hotel, they will just consume it there. You don't want that. You want them to be hungry and then go to the restaurants and then to the bar. Also, because we need more food now, I have changed the order over here. So we still sell clothing at 10%, which is around 27 tons. But food, I just doubled. So it's 20% now before they start to export. I just want to be a bit more careful with exports because we will need food a lot now. And food will make us a lot more money selling in the bars and restaurants. But the extra consumption could be a little bit of a strain on our industry. So I want to have a bigger buffer now, just to be safe. You can guess, by the way, what I forgot to build. Again, why do I always forget trash? But generally speaking, let me just build a carousel, because it also works very well with tourists in summer. But that aside, I would say we are ready, quote unquote, with tourism. Not perfect, definitely not, but we need money, and the hotel is done. The food supply is here, 2 of them. So I would say getting these buses over here, only loading tourists, unloading them over here, and then refueling. Getting all the buses on the line and hope they don't do too much traffic. I do be upgrading more highway now just for that reason. The first tourists have been picked up, and I can tell you, for the beginning, we will not have a lot of tourists. Basically, none at all. Because our tourist rating is super low. The way you get it up is by tourists going into the hotels and, quote-unquote, leaving an average trip rating, which once again, if it's good, will inspire more tourists to come over. So what we're waiting for now is tourists coming here, leaving a good review, and by doing this, motivating other tourists to also come. So TLDR, tourism is an industry that needs some time before it really cooks. But yeah, our first few tourists are here, and they can now do, I mean, not a lot. They can eat, they can drink, and they can do some sports. That's all they can do right now. But just that already gives us a trip rating, and you can see very slowly tourist income going up. And yes, I know it's 90 rubles right now, that's nothing, but this will explode quite quickly now if we have enough people in the industry. They also can go to the Museum of the Republic now, once again something they will love for sure. So yeah, most importantly, they will need food, and oh my god, all of my people are blocking the food. Stop own population going to eat here. Go to the shopping center, please. I can't block them for that though. They need to work here. But yeah, very slowly the tourist income should go up. We might need even more restaurants, but for now the bottleneck is workers, not the restaurants themselves. So yeah, we should be fine. We also need to build these trash collection points very quickly. Slowly but surely, the rating is going up and the hotel fills up too. We've also nearly reached 1,000 rubles, which is still not a lot. But just so you know, I will calculate to get between 15 to 20k from tourism. 10k is already decent, but I feel like if we squeeze them enough, we can get more. Also notice we have run out of money again. I like to build stupid stuff, like paved asphalt roads, which also take away a lot of workers that could work in the food factory, which also has 50 workers now. Oh yeah, true. We were using all of these workers for building a hotel. That is also a reason why we have less food. Oh yeah, the industry is normalized. That is good. But the TLR with the new city district is that I will chill a little bit now, still improve some stuff then and there, and I will of course yap about it, but mainly I am quite happy with the amount of people we have now. Yes, we always want to have more. The hotel is filling up very much now, but the houses are not full yet. I only fill up the new houses around 2/3, which is the norm, and that is good because our population will grow and these people need their own apartments. So yeah, I don't want to immediately fill them up with random workers from around the entire republic, because firstly, workers that are outside from our city are super unhappy. The average here is only 50% because a lot of the workers start with like 10% happiness. If I click on this house over here, it is 8%. They are 8% happy. They just can't die here. While our workers down here are 77% happy. Still not perfect, perfect, but way better than 8%. So yeah, I don't want to invite too much people. I want my own people to move in these apartments over time. And I feel like I don't want to overspend anymore, which I did a lot lately. But if I'm 100% being honest here, I would do it again. I am way happier with those asphalt roads than the gravel. The gravel might be efficient, but the asphalt road makes me happy. Okay, I can paint stuff. It is great. Look how all of the traffic is gone. It is beautiful. And best of all, we are riding green. We're making money. That is the first time ever we make an actual amount of money in this republic. It took 9 years. I'm competent. I know some of you will doubt that. I just have a very laissez-faire playing style that I can still play on the hardest difficulty and not go bankrupt. But, you know, it's not the most efficient. I just, you know, like to build beautiful roundabouts, city blocks, green. And I imagine most of you agree with that building style because you're still watching, mostly. That's why I think that. But tourism aside, which is going very good, maybe even too well because people can't leave the bus sometimes because the hotel is full. But a general problem I notice is that these houses over here might go to the shopping center and might catch all of the demands. What they don't catch, though, is education. So I think we do need to build that over here now. I think I will use this space over here behind the hotel because it would neatly fit into here, meaning school over here and kindergarten something like this. As for the university, I think we go overkill again, but this time I have a very, very good reason for that because we're gonna build now the most important university for a while because we will build now the technical university. And if you ask yourselves why I say this university especially is now important, it is because the technical university basically researches all the industrial stuff for us. So all the industries we can't build right now, like a chemical plant or a plastics factory or, very important, an oil refinery, is locked behind technical research. And I can already show you that because if you click on research here and see the entire research tree, we can see on top that the white icons are the medical university, so all the health research. The blue stuff further down is all the technical research, and lastly, the red icons is quote-unquote the political research, which it's kind of a mix of a lot of things. Like you have propaganda, but you also have more comfortable living, but also safety research, tourism, what we already started, but also distribution offices. So yeah, the party research is quite a lot of things and very important at the beginning, but I would say we have all of the important stuff right now. I gotta say, I don't really know the impact of fire prevention research, so if you know the numbers there, please feel free to share them, because I would love to know if that is worth it or not. In my own experience, it isn't. Buildings just burn, and it feels like the same amount. But yeah, I might research it later. For now, I want more educated people. We're less bottlenecked now. That is very good. But we're also exploding in university education, which is very good. This makes me happy. Basic education also going up. And yeah, no education should go down. In the city center, we have no one with no education. That is good. But over here we do. Mostly because we got the workers from other houses all over the map. But yeah, we still need to educate them because if they have no education, they are basically useless. So yeah, we want to educate them quick. I'm also doing some more infrastructure over here now because, as I said, the budget allows it. I would say in the background, we can plan the access to the beach. Yeah, we 100% need more restaurants in the future and definitely more workers. But we should also start construction on this over here, with the downside that we also need to bring new water and sewage connections here because we don't have them. Electricity we do. That is good. So both built, both connected. I love burning money, apparently. But I already warned you, just because we could leave debt very soon, I mean quote unquote soon, by stopping to build doesn't mean I will stop building. The Republic must grow. Some other things I would also love to tackle and talked a little bit about is a bit more autarky stuff. So maybe producing our own boards. We could also easily produce our own gravel. Very simple production line. And what is also not hard at all, bricks. For that we either need a coal mine or we import the coal. I'm pretty sure we have no coal close by. And yeah, I love manually checking, hovering with a mine over the entire map. I don't need research, okay? Be quiet. Anyways, I found the nearest coal source. Gotta say, that is actually not too far away. I mean, it's not close, but we could definitely probably later on produce our own coal. Now I imagine there's also iron close by. I can tell you so far there isn't. Okay, but as I said already at the beginning of the series, my goal is not to build coal mines and iron mines for the sole reason that I don't want to build an example economy with certain dependent resources close by. I mean, as for this game, that is very good, but as the guide aspect, I would love to show an alternative first and then later on harvest and transport the resource over. So you see the basics without the need of the resource being around, and then later on we can make the production line even more autark by just bringing it via train. There's trains in this game, I will use them. Trains are great. So little side project over here. I'm trying myself in woodcutting. Emphasis on trying. I never really placed this industry before because it's very cheap to import wood, but I thought for this time maybe just try it. And this is in range of our bus station, plus I did place a lot of trees here, which is very good for the woodcutter post. So yeah, let's see how this works. I never did this before, but generally speaking, I have a woodcutter, I have an in-between storage, I have the sawmill, and then I have an end storage over here for the boards. And I thought it would be double good to do it on this side, because this side only has so far the meat storage, while the other side has all of the essential stuff like food and alcohol, plus clothing. So traffic on this side would be less harmful. That's at least my theory. How this turns out in the long run, we shall see. The board storage also has a railway connection, so yeah, if you ever want to use it for something, we can do that now. I didn't do that for the logs, which might also be useful, but to be fair, I do want to save a bit of money, and I wanted to have some buffer storage, so I hope that's enough. If we need more later on, we can always scrap it. There's enough space for medium storage here. So I would say this can wait for now. Back to the city. I do love it when you can just look at the Republic and things are moving. Especially at night. It kind of looks very beautiful in the game. That it's just a side tension to show the Republic. I don't know. I really like it. Most importantly, the train. I want to have so much trains, jokes aside. I'm really sad we don't have the money for trains right now. So after all of this building, we are out of money again. But in the meantime, we did nearly pay back 100k. So even if I have to take a new loan now, I can just make the new loan lower as the one before, pay that one 100% back, resetting the loan, but also reducing the interest. So yeah, we're building a lot of stuff like a university, new living quarters, new industry, but we will not go into deeper debt anymore. Especially after we bought all of the resources for the big project, like the university, which probably eats up most of the money we just lost. A lot of bricks and a lot of steel. I would very much like to have a brick industry, but I think without a second train importing coal, that is kind of painful to do. Logging camp is done. Let's buy trucks. I generally have no idea how this works, by the way. Apparently you need mechanisms. Good to know. And oh my god, yeah, I'm starting to see all the wood. What is this? There is so much wood now. Oh, I see now how this works. They cut down all the trees, turn it into wood piles, and it has to be collected by the mechanisms, bringing it to the wood cutting post. Okay, they're here now, refueled, and now that they have refueled, they collect the wood. That's kind of cool. I never saw this before. I never knew how this works. This was a live experiment for me, and I gotta say, cool. Anyways, I do gotta set this one to only allow boards. Kindergarten is full, school has teachers, and the hotel is not missing any workers, meaning we got more people out of the kindergarten than we lost through the new buildings being around, which is good. That is actually a net positive. I'm building an entire new block over here just because I was sure we need more workers, but we might not need that many. Plus, if all of these houses start to fill up, we might have enough anyways. Also, the beach is ready and tourists start to come. Very beautiful, even though it's already closed. I mean, it's September to be fair, so yeah. The log storage is built, so our wood cutting continues, and very soon the sawmill is done. There you go, just missing workers now. What we can do now is go to our construction offices and order them to take the boards from now on from our own storage. Oh, and well, price rising. It's way too real for me. Please stop, game. University is also done in the background. I love that, and I will 100% go into refining research because it will save us a lot of money producing our own fuel. We use it a lot. On top of that, it is super good as an export because you can sell it via pipelines, and that means no traffic. It is great. That would mean some extra research over here, but we have all the universities for that, so that is fine. fine. It's not part of the heating network, so damn it. Let me just kick everyone out then. We need a new heating pump. Anyways, I love burning money, so let's fix the heating. Double checking everything, but yeah, it's gonna be super expensive, but as an extension of the heat network, very useful. And yeah, the construction offices already start to use our own board production for this project. Very cool. And yeah, this factory is working super quick. I think we don't need more than 5 workers in this sawmill. The logs take a while to get there, and they were immediately being converted by 5 workers, so I highly doubt we need more than 5 workers in both factories. Meaning we're not really stealing any workers from the other factories, which is good. As for tourism, you're starting to see we make some money within the first year, with, like I said, restaurants making the biggest profit. Even more than a hotel itself. It is crazy. So the meta for tourism is actually not to supply anything in the hotel itself, but in restaurants, with of course a star rating, close by. And the only thing our tourism industry is missing right now is workers. And yeah, with that house completed, we do have nearly 40 people working in the hotel now. Very nice. New heating infrastructure has been built, and it's slowly going up, heating up the university. Very good. So I would say we can finally allow everyone to come back and resume their work. Also study. We need more highly educated people. I mean, we kind of don't. I looked at a few housings in the south, because down there, the average is 50% of the population has a university degree. That is kind of crazy. It's very highly educated down there, and of course not needed, but I don't really know a way how to regulate how many people want to study, and I'd rather not have my people waste their time and just finish university if they want to go there, have a higher education and just do whatever job with it, because it really doesn't matter if someone with a university degree does a normal job. They don't need it, but they can still work, and they stop trying to study, so fine with me. And this of course also meaning that we can research now, quite quickly actually. Yes, as I said, we have a lot of professors. That is super good news. And we also have no more people with no education down here, not even a new house. Yeah, that's super good. We are all up to date. We are not overwhelmed. Our financial situation is not in the green, but if we chill a little bit now, I know, I actually mean it, we should be fine. Even with electricity, water, and sewage, we can grow our city into this direction now. So yeah, if we want to do more, we can. Might need shopping centers. I don't know. That could be a thing. Also, sewage not overwhelmed, water not overwhelmed. Yeah, so we are literally in the green with everything, and we're starting to do the expensive research now, which is also good. Also, officially 10 years have passed now, but I gotta say, I like the Republic. It's nice. Not big yet, but nice. Yeah, what's not good is our heat exchanger burning. It's good news that we have 2 in this area, bad news that it's burning. What is good news is that we unlocked this vehicle over here, the roller. That is nice, because this vehicle makes the last step of asphalt roads paving by itself. It still speeds the progress up if you have workers helping, but for the last step of making an asphalt road, we might not need help anymore. So first research is done. Let's get bitumen. In the meantime, winter has also ended, and I'm planning a few extension in tourism over here with a Ferris wheel and an outdoor swimming pool. Nothing big. Plus a cinema over here to make the citizens on this side of the city a bit happier, because cultural and sports enjoyment is a bit low, so I will try to kind of get that up. So these projects are done too. Money-wise, it is a big up and down, but generally speaking, we're just counting on reducing our debt by paying it off, and we're doing that. I'm also restructuring this over here. Don't be confused. The TLDR for that is that I personally think here would be the perfect place for our refinery. For the sole reason that temporarily we could use the bus station to get workers into the refinery, which won't be enough. The refinery needs a lot of people. And in the long run, we can build a train station here and extend the city into this direction, where all the utilities have already been prepared, and get these workers to also work in tourism, of course, but mostly work in the refinery and this area, because this underpassage we built goes into both directions. So if we unload people over here, they can also work over here. Not just from the bus station to the factories here. And while I was yapping, this has been built. My plan for this is to very simply put, just turn this from a curve into a T-road, I guess let's call it that, allowing me to place the refinery here and maybe the train station here. This is firstly nice because the railway network is basically around the corner. Either we'll build a new one and go completely from the other side to the Republic, or I will split off over here and we go around. Depends on how much much money I'm willing to burn on this. Because obviously both sides would involve bridges. And bridges are expensive. And while I'm just waiting for little time to pass and make some money, I might as well terraform a little bit and make space for future infrastructure. On the side, already planning an extension of the highway system we have here. To be fair, doesn't even need to be built. We can just suspend construction on this. The only reason I already want this place down is so that I can start planning the railway network around it. And if you ask yourself why I use a lot of roundabouts, it's because it is a quite effective way to avoid traffic and make different distribution points into different areas. Good example here, crossings like that can create a lot of traffic, while a regulated roundabout just, you know, does roundabout stuff. So traffic is way better to handle. And yes, there is even better ways to build a highway, like an actual off-road, on-road, like you have in real life. You can do that too. But as a semi-lazy solution, I really enjoy the roundabout. It works quite well in the game, and it is not that expensive. Yeah, we're still broke. Don't forget that. I did in the background finish this roundabout over here, so we can set that one up too. As for railway, maybe a station like this for our city could work, because we will have some kind of road down here, and we will need some space for a bridge and everything. But it would mean 1, 2 bridges, maybe 3 if we go out here, because this over here would be a good position for gravel production. So we'll probably put some industry into here, maybe a combination of farming and gravel at the end. Also 2 industries that really don't need people to function, just trucks, meaning the city could run it, but for that I would probably need to run the railway around it. So something like here, and then we come around back here and go into here. Yeah, that is my plan, I think. I will work it out more concrete in the background, but I did want to share my basic plans of what I'm doing, even though I have to become less detailed over this playthrough. I also finished the demolition of this road over here, so the terraforming efforts can continue. And I would say that should be enough space for a railway network. I just wanted to be safe, okay? Like, get it out of the way, terraform the land now, think more about it later. We also apparently finished the refinery design research, so let's go into this for actually a lot of stuff, but mostly pipelines for now. Also planning new distribution offices here and here. This one here, because now I know I will place a refinery here for fuel distribution through the Republic, and this one over here is gonna be a help for this one over here, supplying the city, because I am kind of planning like new supermarkets and stuff. Also setting that up like this for the whole reason, like I said before, the expansion of the city. Yeah, no, we're building a lot again, be quiet. The refinery will save us, I promise. And over the time, not as much tourism, but all the other profits went up. That's good. By the way, the thing that can ruin tourism didn't happen yet. I'm very happy about it. And I'm also very surprised, because it tends to happen like every 3 years for half a year. So it is bad and long. Don't you dare write, that's what she said. I will punish you. So yeah, planning big city expansion. I'm looking forward to the negative. We might go deeper into the true Soviet experience. But literally, jokes aside, if we build a refinery right now, the refinery, even with imports, is super profitable. Plus, we use a lot of fuel, and it basically makes it very cheap to get fuel. So it's good. That's the TLDR for the refinery from my side. It's very good. And while all of this is being built, I would say let's plan the railway and also highway, so I know where to do the bridges. But again, doesn't need to be built yet, just planned. Personally speaking, in terms of railway, I think this is the most unnecessarily long railway I ever built for such an early setup. But keeping everything I planned in mind, I think this is the best way to do it, because the alternative is to go up here, saving us this entire thing around here, which would save us some time building, but that would also mean that our passenger trains would always come in contact with our import trains. And I also don't like that. So in the future, if we import large amounts of coal and bring it somewhere else in the Republic, the passenger trains would be in the way, or vice versa. The coal train would be in the way of the passenger train. And that is really bad for intervals. So what I'm doing here is creating a specific line just for the passenger train for our core industry over here, which is overkill, gotta say that. But also a permanent solution. So we're gonna do that. What we could also do is build a little footpath over here from the railway station. So these trains in the future can actually help the entire industry block. That is actually beautiful. Yeah, I might need to employ more people for railway construction because this is very slow. Easy but stupid solution. Let's build a new house and dedicate it only to railway construction. The rest of this district is pretty much under control. So yeah, if you use an entire house just for railway construction, should be fine. And because we're going very heavy into railway now, let's do the distribution office. And yeah, you might have noticed that I changed my mind a bit on the saving money situation. I do honestly feel like if we don't move forward, we miss out on a lot of time, that even if we are financially stable in the future, miss out on a lot of money. And even more important, for the serious progress. Because I do feel bad just because we have debt to not do anything in the video with the reasoning, hey guys, we gotta save money, so no expansion. While there still is another solution to the problem, let's throw even more money at the problem until it's gone. Is it the safer option? No, but do I care? You can guess that one for yourself. This is an open book test. You can answer however you want. But jokes aside, we are really close now to a very, very profitable economy, especially with this university unlocked now. And it actually researching quite quickly. I didn't even notice it finished that. So let's go into steel material fatigue study for the research we need after. I know I'm hyping this up way too much, but like fuel is such a good industry to start with. It is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love tourism. Even though we have like semi-success with it, we really need still more workers for tourism. Another reason why I'm building even more stuff here. But if you have money problems and are not in a deadly debt spiral yet, which we are not, we can take a lot more loans. We might have 1.25 million as a loan, but we can take 3.1 million more. We are not in the area where we will run out of money. We are in the area where we pay high amounts of interest. Yes, but we're not in the area where the bank is angry at us. And never forget, if you run out of rubles, there's still dollars. You only lost when you bankrupt in both currencies. I'm just saying, guys. But honestly, jokes aside, we are far away from being in a very dangerous area. It sucks for a beginner guy that I go so deep into debt and that I have a such overbloated economy. But at the end of the day, I also want to build a cool republic. So getting both under the same hat is a challenge. So my compromise is that I explain what I do, but not always recommend. Like I try to give the more optimal path for a beginner, which is don't play realistic mode, I guess, if you're really new to the game. Which in this case would be, if you want to keep it very simple, maybe skip this industry here, go into debt earlier, and just build a technical research facility and rush refinery. You can do that. You can just ignore all the tourism we did. You can ignore all of the food production we did. I just built it before because it's a decent industry to have, and the longer the game goes, the better this industry is for us. But if you have a limited worker pool and you really want to specialize in one industry, just go fuel. It is fine. But I feel like in this game, like every player has their own playing style on what industry they like to begin with. It is totally fair to just experiment around, find what you like. And I know saying experimenting around in a game where you play 100 hours for one realism playthrough minimum is a lot to demand, but it is the honest answer. I'm just trying to show one way how to play the game, not the only way though, just the way I do it. Trains. I still love our train, and yeah, I look so forward to having the railway network, not gonna lie. And that's also a great example of not having any traffic, because now our track builder drives a lot back and forth through the railway network and doesn't block anything here. Like the traffic always goes through, no problem. Roundabouts are working, highways doing highway stuff. Yeah, worst case scenario, someone stops because of giveaway. From what we had before, amazing. I'm still happy I did both, by the way, because the snowplows are working, but not always and never for long. It's just how it is. So yeah, I would say let's drastically increase the load, you know, to not always need to manually increase it over time, and build. As you can see, even for now, the railway is being built fairly quick. Gotta say, I love this vehicle. It is a very good track builder. Oh no, not everything is in range. Classic. But you know what? While all of this is building, let's get another restaurant, because they are now they're kind of empty, but still with full waiters, these are overrun. And I wish there would be a button to tell my own citizens, don't come here, go to the supermarket, because they're stealing the seats for the tourists, and it's kind of annoying. But I guess nothing a third restaurant can't fix. And I just noticed, oh no, we have to deal with the wear and tear of the buildings now, meaning after a while they need to be maintained, which is basically a slight reconstruction of the building to get it back to wear and and tear 0%. It is nothing bad. It is nothing too expensive. It just takes away workers and it takes away resources. I would need to extend the city now. But yeah, nothing too big, just slightly annoying. This distribution office is done though. So I would say let's copy the orders of the fuel trucks over here and bring them into their designated distribution office. And that allows us to get rid of these over here and gives us a few free distribution offices back. Always good to have for emergencies, so I like that. The traffic though in this city is abysmal. You know what? I keep on selecting the roads when I want to check if everything is being built via the construction office assign tool. So you know what? Screw it. Build it. I don't care anymore. I'm done canceling this every time I hit it. But we have reached year 3 of this recording, which officially means we had the half of the 4 years I tend to play. And honestly, I do love the feeling of progress in this episode today, because I think we never did this much in one episode, but it's also gonna be impossible to edit, and I can already tell you this episode will be a week late. 100%. Because right now, update from my side, I'm jumping between my 2 YouTube channels, jumping from big project to big project. So if you think like, oh, why does it take like 3 weeks to a month to make an episode? It's because I'm working on more than just one video. The upside is I get a lot of time to really take in all of the feedback you give me and use some of it. I think that's the honest answer. I use some of it. But yeah, talking about burning money, let's get a new access for sewage and water. You know what? I feel generous. Let's just get electricity out of the way too. And I think both for water, ignore the piping, please, and sewage, we have one last connection left, which is perfect because I am pretty sure we can't use more for the sole reason that our small treatment plant at some point will be overwhelmed. So yeah, I think for future expansion, if we stay with this city and don't build a new one, we might need to build a second treatment plant. Same with water, because for now it's still fine, but yeah, I think in the future if we add more and more, might become problematic. And I know I said we're gonna build a new transformer, but hear me out. We have one last connection left, okay? I'm gonna use that now. It's what past Florius would have wanted. So everything in the background is set up for this city, even a new distribution office, which will help a lot in keeping all of this under control. So with that embraced, I would say let's not wait any longer and place down the refinery. I would actually just put it here where I think it can be reached. Yep, beautiful. Via the bus station. And yes, it goes into our wood cutting industry. I don't care. It seems to have enough wood anyways, so I'm not really afraid. Train station also reaches all the factories. That is beautiful. And the building is burning. Yeah, I gotta say we build enough buildings now that only our city burns now, which I don't know if this is good or bad, but our fire station has a use now. As for the big loan I took, we did already pay back 100k of that, and now we're running out of money, meaning if I just retake the same loan, meaning no change in interest, we have money again. Will we go into more debt? Yeah, probably, but I will still try to drag it out as much as I can. In terms of railway construction, we do start working on a bridge now, so this is going actually faster than I thought it would. I mean, I was aware that it won't take forever because I did buy an expensive track builder right from the start and dedicate more population to it, but just for a few months passing, this is quick. I'm happy. An update on the research, it is getting along, slowly getting to the pipelines. OPEC would be great, but yeah, you need to hold both of these technologies to get OPEC, and those technologies are basically licenses to build one connection, and I kinda don't want to wait for that, because if you haven't watched the last series, we already explained a lot about the refinery, which I of course will do here again. I don't force you here to watch the old series, by the way, that's not a plug. This is the research for the foreign pipeline connection, which simply put allows us to import and export without using any traffic, just the pipeline and electricity. It is very good. We will need multiple of these, somewhere here at the border, for the sole reason that you can either just import or export. I mean, you can flip it in between, that's fine, but it's a bit annoying, plus our refinery will produce way more than one pipeline connection can import, so we will need more anyways, meaning we will need to research a lot of these quote-unquote licenses to build. Yeah, let's just say our communist headquarter has something to do very soon. Still overrun, by the way. And looking at university degrees, you can really start to see when we build the second university. We have so many educated people, it is crazy. But once again, I love to see how our city is currently developing, and just sometimes following a truck, seeing what it does is, I don't know, satisfying. Take the trash. Good little trash truck. I am proud. road. And now he uses the roundabout correctly. I know, I can't believe it. I do love the detail of like a giveaway sign and everything. It makes this game very cool. I don't know. I love this stuff. It's small things, but let's be fair. They matter. Something that I'm also doing in the background now is to catch a little bit up just in general research. And I think what could be interesting is steel cables for better electricity pylons, maybe even geological mapping at some point, so we see the resources. I mean, nuclear research for sure. There's a lot of money in that. On the other side, chemistry would also be very interesting, but I will not build that factory anytime soon because we're broke. So I guess let's just do a bit of everything. We have the university now. Oh, and I just noticed that with the remove tree tool, I can actually get rid of the grass on my roads, which, you know, is something I noticed, but it wasn't important enough to talk about it. Did annoy me though. I do gotta say, the brick roads are very beautiful. I know later on the asphalt roads are easier to build and way quicker, but I don't know, the brick roads have a vibe that I just really like for a city. And I gotta say, in this episode, we kind of doubled the size of our city. And I'm not sure if we're done yet, because once the refinery is built, we will need more workers. Talking about more, we need more money. So bigger loan it is this time. We did yet again pay back like 50k, but I don't want to always gamble that hard, so let's just get it out of the way. And chop up another 100k again, which we 100% will need for the refinery. This building alone needs 300 steel. This building alone doesn't function, okay? We will need a lot of pipelines to really organize and streamline it. So yeah, and I do hate that the beach needs such high temperatures to function because it is June and it has been closed again for bad weather. It doesn't get hotter than now. It needs over 20 degrees to stay open. It is not good. The problem is this is very profitable. The beach is great. Just for the German map, maybe not the best. It is never open for long. But we did finish the other restaurants, so let me connect this up real quick and then copy the orders over. Very nice. Income from tourism is also increasing gradually. Still, we could have way more workers and would make way more money. Real bottleneck of our city. Workers. And even though I started to build some high-density living quarters, I still try to incorporate them with, you know, not too close to each other. Still kind of good looking. Just ignore that I placed this one the wrong way around. The front entrances are on the back. And it makes me kind of angry, but I can't afford to place it again. This is just Soviet engineering, don't question it. But the technical university also looks very beautiful. I don't know, I really like this building style. Generally speaking, the early start buildings, I say this a lot, I know, but I just like them. They're very beautiful. We have a bit of traffic over here, and I think the solution for it is a bit straightforward. What if I turn this around, making this the exit and this the entry? That should remove a lot of traffic, if I'm not wrong. Now, so far, I gotta say, it did improve the traffic quite a bit. I love this game. You can just do little things like that and get a wildly different outcome. Optimization. That's one of the main reasons why I struggle a bit with expanding, because I can always like optimize already built stuff, and I don't know, like I like this a lot, trying to look at these setups. How can I make them even better? Giving me a little bit of expand fatigue, but for this series I try to kind of break out of my comfort zone and expand. So we did research the first pipeline connection. You know what, I will just kind of double down and we get OPEC now out of the way. The western pipeline connection is a very expensive research, but if we get it out of the way, we can stabilize the export prices, which would be very good to get before we start exporting a lot, because this game is a bit dynamic. So if you export a lot, the price decreases. And as much as I understand it, OPEC helps to stabilize that, and we will export a lot of oil products, so this might be super good. But let me know in the comments if that is super important or not, because you don't really see the number. It's just a text saying you would stabilize the prices. It's a very vague description. I'm also planning in the background a small construction office over here for the sole reason that I would like a construction office dedicated to road construction. So this will have all of the asphalt paving stuff. And us having the rollers now means that we can start having this. Did I do this ever before? No, but I thought as a first time, you know, having a dedicated construction office just for road construction could be good. And we are expanding the roads, so I guess early is better than later. For our bus station, I do notice that sometimes there's like 90 people in here without any buses getting them. For the intervals, I already added new buses, so that's not the problem. We have enough buses. I think literally the method of transportation, or just having one bus line, is the problem here. Plus a little bit of the random traffic that still sometimes exists, like at the beginning of the episode to now is like day and night. But saying we have no traffic ever now is also a lie. Meaning the solution for this is probably the train station. Yeah, then we don't have any traffic at all. It is a train. The only traffic the train will have is with itself. You know, like there's gonna be multiple trains on this line, so they will create traffic for each other. And testing it out, yes, we have space here for foreign pipeline connections. And to be fair, they don't need any real roads. They only really need the road to be built. And after that, I mean, if they catch on fire, then you want your fire trucks to get there. But besides those two things, you don't really need a road there. It's very optimized. And as for the future, I would like to have more railway up here. So I wouldn't like to start building in this space yet, for the whole reason that this over here is just the passenger line. And the reason I declare it as just the passenger line is because I will build over here, I mean, we could do this right now together, for our train line, a railway end station, which, as you might already guess, serves the same purpose as the bus end station, that it regulates the train intervals, and on top of that, refuels the trains. So that is also very good. But you know what? I would like to have some space here, so I'm gonna be a bit more experimental and place it over here, where we have a lot of space. As I said, for the future of the railway network, we want to have one train space between the signals. And signals you basically always place before and after a railway crossing, so like here, and then more in between. I mean, what they do, we will talk later about. But for now, you only need to know you want to have a bit of space with your railway, otherwise your trains will act up. I would say space-wise, this is super liberal, so this should be fine. Just need to connect it, and I think in this case, a gravel road is more than enough. Once again, doesn't need workers, just needs to be built and put out if it ever gets on fire. Crazily enough, this month we made money. That will change very soon, because as soon as they're done with the concrete stuff of the refinery, they will import all of the steel and the mechanical components. You will be broke then. I mean, we already broke, but that doesn't matter, I guess. A bit bigger project on the side that I apparently never did, because past Florius was lazy. Get quote-unquote dirty water over from our water well in the city. And oh my god, we have another building on fire. I hate fire so much. It's not actually a problem, like it's easy to deal with, but it's annoying to see this pop up every 3 seconds. It's just, And use the unclean water for our steam trains. And I say past Florius was lazy because past Florius used clean water for this over here. Yeah, we're using apparently high quality water for this train calling station. A little bit expensive, but it is not used a lot, so what do I care? I mean, I guess we could change it. It has a water reserve, so yeah, we can just disconnect this and build a connection to this pump, and then we don't use chemicals for our trains, which is, you know, good. Some other people even wrote me that I don't need high quality water for the fabric factory. I'm pretty sure I disagree, because I placed this once in a single player playthrough with low grade water, and it didn't want to take it. Not meaning I got more sewage out of it, but it just didn't work until I connected high quality water. Let me know if I'm wrong with this, in terms of I remember it wrong. Something I just remembered and we should really do now is get concrete and Soviet functionalism. It was kind of more down, so I guess I didn't see it, but yeah, that is something very useful and unlocks a bunch of new houses. And train station is done. I immediately untick everything. They don't care. They still all walked in immediately. Oh, so talking again about green roads. Yeah, goodbye. This is such a long episode, by the way. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. And it also goes to myself. I'm so sorry editing Florius. I just saw my money disappear. And yeah, the refinery is in the next building. Oh my god. But I gotta say, what is very good is tourist income is really going up now. We're reaching 15k. And that with us being stuck at 8k for quite a while. So a few years in. And this is looking good. By the way, is this grass regrowing? Please just stay away. It is. It literally is. Oh my god. I hate this. And we talked about it before. Let's get Soviet functionalism. So research is done, allowing us to build a lot more stuff. Not just in housing. We also unlocked bigger shopping opportunities. Like with the market hall. It's not that much better, by the way, but it looks cool. So we might build it. Yeah, that's how I run my channel, okay? It doesn't need to be good. It just needs to look cool and then we use it. But we also unlock very cool stuff like the sports hall, which once again, it's cool. It has a very high rating. So we might actually build this in the tourist area. I don't know. It's very expensive, so we're not gonna do it now. What I was mostly interested in is better housing opportunities. And here I like this house over here because it has 80% flat quality compared to the 85 over here. It's not that big of a loss and it can hold more than double the workers in a more condensed area. So I would say we place 1 or 2 of these over here next to the railway station, you know, getting some workers ready for the refinery, having all of their needs fulfilled in the area. And yeah, I think I will build a few more of these now, because, I mean, we do gotta get more workers now in. Even if I like this building style more, for the money's sake that we do need now, I will go a bit more into high-rises, so we can get a bit more workers on the same area. But generally speaking, I will not stop building like this. This is just for now that we make some money. And they don't look that ugly anyways. It is just, you know, less beautiful. We also finished the research on the Western pipeline connection. So let's get OPEC. And we have so many students that want to study and can't because this is a small university. But we need to get this out of the way. We have it once and then we have it forever. So I guess worth it. I mean, talking about money, we never really had that. I can tell you why though. The refinery is done. And no one should work in this yet, by the way. There's no use in working in here. What we can also do now is build our first foreign pipeline connection, connect it with a dirt road or something. And yeah, here I really don't care that we go over the railway because only in construction this is gonna be annoying. At any other point, it really doesn't matter. As over here, we need a bit more road. So how about gravel like this? Because what we will need now is pumping stations. I think 2 of them I can squeeze in over here, and we need both kinds. 1 out and 1 in. And I say 1 in and 1 out because one will be for import, this one, and the other one will be for export. I mean, I built it the wrong way around, but it really doesn't matter. So the reason I build it like this is because we will need multiple pumping stations for multiple pipeline connections. And I mean, right now we can only have this one over here. As I said before, we got the license for 1 eastern one, and our research right now is occupied with OPEC, which I can't cancel right now, because if I would, I couldn't research it anymore because I used the license. So once it's done with that, I will quote-unquote research a few more pipeline connections to the Soviet countries and build a few more there. But yeah, this is once again very expensive infrastructure, but to be fair, it is a very easy industry because it basically is just money printing. And this is not me coping, it literally feels like money printing. It's very good. As for the infrastructure next to the refinery, right beside it, still on the main road, like over here, I would like to have a big storage, and next to it, a smaller one, which is gonna be for the 2 things we produce, fuel and bitumen. You can already see over here we will produce way more fuel than bitumen. So the big storage is for fuel, and that for 2 reasons, not just that we produce more fuel so we need a bigger storage, mostly that the fuel reserve for our entire republic is quite important. All our trucks run with fuel. So once we start to only use our local source, trust me, you want to have some time to react when that starts to run out. So big storage here. As for bitumen, we will need it for a few things, mostly asphalt, which doesn't need a lot of bitumen. So yeah, it gets a smaller storage. That is 100% fine. Once this over here is done, I will place down all the pumps plus an extra oil storage I will build over here and then connect everything up. But yeah, slowly but surely the industry is being built, and the infrastructure too. Very cool. Highway is looking more and more like a highway. So that construction office is also done now. Let's give it a refuel order. I haven't said this yet, but I really like that we centralize refueling over here. Don't need to copy the order all the time anymore. And for now over here, I bought a few bulldozers, a few rollers, and a few open hulls for delivering. Currently, general construction going very well. Building a new technical service over here for the scaling city size. And with that road done, we can also prepare the pumping setup. But what I really want to talk about right now is that we nearly lost a lot of our population because of coal. We ran out of coal nearly. So I added a lot of distribution offices there. Okay, it's getting under control now. That is good. But back to logistics. Let's set up the rest of the refinery. I would say another big storage for oil over here. An export pump here. We'll explain what that means in a second. And import over here. Import goes into the refinery. Export, of course, out of the refinery. Import comes from the oil storage we just built. Export goes into the bitumen storage and in the fuel storage. And with the third connection to the export pump over here. Import the other way around goes into the oil storage. And that's already the setup done. And because it was probably a bit confusing, I will do a fast track of where the oil will flow now so you understand the entire logic behind my setup. Firstly, we import oil via the foreign pipeline connection. That oil is pumped into the oil storage and from there into the refinery where the oil is being refined into fuel and bitumen. That is being pumped out of the refinery into here where it will be equally distributed into 3 directions. One is a bitumen storage, one is a fuel storage, and the third way is to the pipeline connection where it will be exported. And once both these storages are full, we will just export everything. And then the real money starts. Then we will become really rich. But for now, this all has to be built. The good news in the refinery not being used yet is that we have no pressure setting all of this up. Also, build another hospital over here. So the rest of the city also has a hospital, because this one over here is quite far away. And most importantly, I built it in the tourist area, so our tourists can also go to a hospital. With a lot of cases where tourists went sick and couldn't go anywhere, yeah, that basically fixes that. And best of all, everyone can use it, so it is not just for the tourists. Also done is the new pipe with the less quality water for the train calling station. Yeah, it's barely being used, so there's still quality water in there, but that has become cheaper. And this one over here is also connected, just needs coal, which, you know, let's wait for winter to end before we set that up. I even ordered some extra coal trucks without a distribution office just to fill this up. This nearly was really bad, really bad. As for the railway, we're still missing some length, but to be fair, the only thing that will take some time to be built is the bridge. Mainly because the bridge uses different resources in the different building steps, meaning it starts with bricks and then it uses steel. While the railway always uses the same resources, so our railway construction vehicle has a very easy time always picking them up and build everything. While with the bridge, it builds one thing and then has to drive back and get other resources, then builds that thing, then has to drive back again and get other resources for the next bridge. That takes a while, especially because it's far away. But I have decided, even though we are in year 4 now, I don't want to tease you, and time-wise, we already way overblown anyways, so I will finish setting up the oil refinery this episode with you. So starting with episode 4, we will make a lot of money. We will start to make some money at the end of this episode, but yeah, I gotta end it soonish. It's already like 7-8 hours of recording. It is crazy how much I recorded for episode 3, but I also hate to always let you wait for the next episode, so I thought, you know what, it takes a lot of time to do anyways. Let's just make another big one and get this out of the way. Nearly forgot about propaganda again, so yeah, I'm not gonna do that mistake again. I won't. Yeah, right now we are basically only waiting for the railway to be done, and I'm prioritizing right now the construction of only 1 track, so we at least have something. We also had a slight problem where our railway construction office bugged out a little bit. For a bug that I do know, we had our entire storage filled with bricks. If you ask yourself how that could happen, let's just say, theoretically, if you would be a track builder and you want to start the construction of a bridge, like this one over here, takes 13 bricks, right? Yeah, he doesn't know that. He only knows he needs bricks now. So what happens is that he fills his entire storage with all the bricks we have, drives all the way over here, you know, which takes quite a while, builds this step using 40 bricks, meaning after he's done, he has like 30 tons of bricks left, drives back, where in the meantime, our distribution offices have refilled the bricks, meaning that even though we only have 50 tons of storage here, 4 bricks, we now have 80 bricks, meaning all the other storage can't refill. Meaning next time we need steel, we don't get steel, because we have too much bricks. Yeah, it's a bit annoying, okay? And if that happens like once or twice, your entire storage is full with bricks. It is not good. Cost me half a year of railway construction because he was stuck at that bridge over here. Yeah. And while I was yapping, we got OPEC too. So yeah, I would love for you to educate now, but I need more pipeline connections, so please get me that first. Thank you. Technical University. We've also researched quite a bit now. Even better electricity pylons now. I think the time has come to actually check for resources. Interesting for next episode. So yeah, why not get geological mapping? We might find some iron, because we actually haven't found iron yet. I would also say we use this opportunity and maybe build a new power transformer in the city. I said it quite a while ago that we need it, and the time has come. And with all the pylons unlocked, I will start using the ones that are permanently good now, meaning I will use 15 megawatts for electricity transportation to an end user, and the 18 megawatts one to import and transport electricity through our republic. So this here that goes to transformer now will 100% use the 15 megawatts ones, while in the future, when I redesign this, which I can't just cut off, for electricity import we will use the 18 ones, which are very large. Or when we transport electricity between switches. So from here to the industry area, I would also use 18 in the future, because, you know, that's the main bottleneck of our electricity, so you don't want to strain that. As for medium wattage, I'm still using the underground ones because they're just way nicer. I got the question once, why should you ever use the above ground ones? I mean, the very simple answer is they are way cheaper and they can transport more wattage, so they have more capacity, but most of the time it really doesn't matter, and having them underground is just so much more comfortable because you don't need to think about anything. So I do recommend underground, okay? It costs more, but it is really worth it. It just is. Talking about comfortable, we have an epidemic, which basically means that our very good tourism income is gonna end now for a few months. Let's just say I'm happy it took so long, okay? That is super lucky. Downside, we will get no tourism. It is over now, because the 17k did make a difference, and overall through the last few years we did make good amounts of money with tourism. Like, that is something you can't ignore. That is really good. I mean, our industry made even more money thanks to clothing, and surprisingly enough, alcohol and meat are second and third. That is crazy. I thought food would be higher, but no, food doesn't really matter at all. Alcohol might be a good export. What? I'm surprised. Oh, and food is getting down a lot. What is going on here? Food, what are you doing? But yeah, call me surprised, because I am. I will also micro the track construction a bit more now by helping the track constructor quote unquote go home, because once it's done, I can just either click here or press Ctrl H and teleport it back to its depot. A few storages are already built, so I would say let's sort them out, with the big one only taking fuel and the smaller one bitumen. For the last one over here, we're gonna do the same, just with, you know, oil. And yeah, these pipelines take forever to build, so will take still some time. Yeah, would you look at that? A lot of bricks in the storage. Great. I think the only solution I could think of right now is just have way less bricks in general in the storage, so the train can't take as much. But another solution than destroying the bricks is not really viable in the short term. So yeah, I just decrease the amount of bricks we're allowed to store, otherwise this will be a permanent problem, which I don't want. We also don't need that much. Yeah, there we go. And you gotta say, I'm a bit surprised that we are researching 24/7 now, and the amount of educated people is going up again. I mean, it's a really good sign, but I am surprised. I thought we lose a lot of educated people just out of, like, you know, natural death, and not enough young people educating again. But no, we're fine. Oh, but yeah, you do see in the basic education that way more people could study, because that is really shooting up. Anyways, broadcasting, sure. Shout out here on the viewers. Next episode I will probably build a radio. I'm not 100% sure how a radio works. I will do some research on it, but if you want to help me understand it, I would appreciate it. Like, in the Discord, in the comments, I don't care. Because I know it helps to create loyalty, and you can influence the needs, basically like in prison, where you can choose a re-education. But I don't really understand how I get people to listen to the radio and still kind of, quote-unquote, fall for the propaganda. Yeah, I haven't figured that completely out. So if you want to help me there, let me know. By the way, I do know that people have to buy a radio, and that's why we're selling electronics in the supermarket. But the other part, how you get the people with a radio to listen to the radio. I know, I'll make a series where I want to explain the game, and I asked the question. Very, very good. So, pandemic is still around. We got like one tourist we could pick up, but yeah, mostly, we're still in the pandemic. That is not good. As for the last storage, let's set it up too, and it is already connected. So if I go to the foreign pipeline connection and activate importing oil, it should start to fill up. Yeah, very good, with oil. No harm in already preparing that, because we will need it soonish with our scuffed railway. Yeah, we will need both directions, but yeah, the scuffed railway short term is the solution. That's all I'm saying. One train will not be enough, and we can't do more than one train with the scuffed railway system. It just doesn't work. Second foreign pipeline connection is in the bag. I would say let's chill a little bit with research. You know what? Let's squeeze in monuments and then we chill. As for the pipeline, I guess let's place it here. For some reason it only lets me place it with the road in that direction, but you know, if it works, it works. Connecting it to the pumps, and yeah, now it just needs to be built. Meaning we can already have one pipeline importing and the other one just exporting. If that is not enough, we can always, you know, import with both and then export after a while again. There is some buffer storage in the refinery and outside. I mean, these connections are set up that whatever goes into the tanks can't be exported anymore for a good reason, because we don't want to by accident export our national fuel reserve. So yeah, this is our buffer storage, but to be fair, that is more than enough. Always setting up the warnings will probably be spammed now that we have no fuel in our fuel storage, because it's true, but we're also not producing fuel yet, so yeah. But how I know myself, if I don't set it up now, I will forget. As for over here, we did unlock new garbage trucks, so you know what? I'ma get some of those. Not completely fill it up, but I would say 5 garbage trucks are enough. I will copy the orders from the other technical service, and if we ever need other stuff, we have space in here. And we unlocked a new train. We will need a train very soon, so I don't know, but to be fair, still love this one, so A mistake I did earlier and didn't comment on is I forgot to connect this house over here to the electricity network. That problem has been fixed, and all the people that lived in here have been settled to other houses, so no big deaths here. But I'm interested now how quickly this fills up if I let people move in again. One worker is already in, so the demand for housing is always there, I guess. Looking at the happiness, the one next to the tourist area are super happy. I mean, because they can also use the tourist stuff, so that is fair. While on the other side of the city, there are around 70%, which, you know, is not amazing, but still very good. And that looks a little bit disappointing here, but maybe I'll let them drink too much alcohol. What do I know? The epidemic is still ongoing, by the way. I hate them. They're awful. And yes, they also make our people more sick too, but actually I'm not sure about that. The hospital is so empty. I haven't seen it so empty in quite a while. It is a very isolated community, but where else do you want to go? You have Floringrad and Old Talk. All you need in life. You know, inside of you are 2 wolves. Both are in debt. I'm just saying, a combination of spending nearly 100,000 rubles on oil now, plus we're already importing into our tank, and not having tourism means that we now have a loan of 2 million, and that's the max limit per loan. So what I will do now is I will get another one with like 200k, you know, hoping everything's fine. Jokes aside, I want to do that because I would like to buy our first train now with a cool steam locomotive, and I still think, you know, the Prussian one is performance-wise just great. So you know what? I'm gonna take like that. Maybe already buy 2 of them. As for passenger wagons, I would say we go for 2 wagons per train for now, and if that doesn't work, I will go to 3. It is a bit overkill, by the way. I just want to say that. Railway construction-wise, we are very close to reaching the train station, at least with 1 rail. As I said, as a long-term solution, we will need both, but to start this industry and start to get some money, please, yeah, we will need that. I will also set the max amount of workers allowed again in the refinery, and I want most of the workers from the train station to go into that. So we'll order 50% to go into the refinery and the other 50% to go into all the other buildings and help there. I think we're seeing our first worker producing fuel for us very soon. The national reserve will be growing, you know, gotta start somewhere. But while our dreams of becoming rich is still, you know, a little bit away, there we actually have some fuel now. Crazy, right? I would say let's set up the trains now. Hey, you know what? Let's try 3 wagons. Going from the train station, picking up only workers, of course, to the other train station, unloading everything. And for now, that is literally it. The actual train setup with signals and everything, we will do next episode. I know, I'm sorry. But finally starting to make some money, even with a half-built railway. I'm happy. And yeah, we just burned a lot of money again because we imported everything for the pipeline connection here. Let's just say we are even deeper in debt. But me allowing workers now to go to the train station and at least 1 train picking them up could start to make us good amount of money. So first train is here, just 27 workers, but yeah, that will go up now. I do be ordering these houses over here to at least 50% go to the train station. I know it's not a good thing to force people to work somewhere in the optimization of the game, but I think for a few houses it's fine. And I built these houses here basically just for the factories. So yeah, 50% should really go here, and then everything else can do whatever they want. As for our first passenger train, it is indeed reaching the train station station now. Workers get out and the refinery starts refining. I mean, it already did, but the bus station is like very inefficient and they're stealing a lot of workers from the other factories. So yeah, oh my god, we really need more workers here. The food is going lower and lower. Good thing we have the train station now. Jokes aside, it will help with food too. But with the National Reserve filling up now, I will be arrogant and stop importing fuel now, clicking away the large customs house and only taking it from our own fuel storage over here. So starting now, we're not paying for fuel anymore. I mean, we pay for the oil, which, you know, still costs something. But just to give you an idea how much we paid for fuel, a lot and rising. So trust me when I say this will save us a lot of money. Yes, we're importing the oil, but the refining process and the 2 resources we get out of it are worth a lot more. And I would say with the second pipeline connection built, let's put it to export, meaning that we will now export a third of what we produce, of course, until these storages are full, and then we will export everything. Will still take a while, less for the bitumen storage, but definitely for the fuel one. But yeah, we will make a lot of money with this yet. We just need the railway infrastructure to be a bit better and maybe build a few more houses. Got like 50 people in this train. Yeah, the problem is that you always want trains here because people don't wait for a very long time in the train station, meaning that they will wait here for a few hours, and if no train comes, they leave. Like you already see in the background, people just leaving. Yeah, that's why you always want trains to go back and forth. This way you catch all the workers that want to use the train and go to work here. But for now, it is better than nothing. And it means we have 80 people in the refinery, and it means we're starting to export fuel, which is good. As already said, a bit overkill railway system, but worth it. Trust me. I have big plans for this area, and putting a railway through here or like through here would have been annoying. And this way, it is very easy to use with signals. Plus, we don't interfere with cargo railway, which is also very good. And next train has already 75 workers, so it is going up. We will definitely need more population for the industry, and this is just, you know, a part of the population we can use. I would definitely say long term, you know, 2 wagons might be enough, but we will definitely need like 4 trains or something. To keep it cheap, I might actually say with 3 for now, but it is what it is. Took a bit more depth, but we have the trains prepared now. Our current sole train is doing its best to already try to make some money, but yeah, for now that's not enough. The railway infrastructure is very soon complete. As I said, our railway construction vehicle is quite fast for such a long piece of railway in still such an early game state. You know, we're still in the early start DLC, so basically we're still in the DLC part. In the meanwhile, tourism has recovered. I mean, not really yet. Our hotel is like really empty, but we start to make some money again. If you look at exports, yeah, we're really starting to make a lot more money now, and that is on a very, very inefficiently run refinery. That is like 3 times what we made before without tourism. And also imports have drastically decreased because, you know, the oil storage is now full. We're not importing endless amounts of oil, which is very expensive, by the way. And once these storages are filled up, we will print money. I think you're starting to see the dream now. Alone in this first month of this still very ineffective factory, we made over 40k, and that is with a third of the exports that we produced. We're still filling up the national reserves, don't forget that. And we have 100 workers. I take it back, that's actually already a decent amount. Imagine we had trains, and imagine we wouldn't steal workers from the food factory. But it's recovering, that's going up again. This is very good news. But anyways, TLDR, this is the end of the episode. I've played for like multiple days now on this. I gotta end it at some point and edit, okay? Next episode, I promise you, we will go out of debt by a lot. I can't say 100%, but probably by a lot, because I will still build a lot. As always, I hope you can forgive me. See you all next time, and let the time lapse begin.